The last example in section 1.4 is going to be about the difference quotient. This is just an application of using function notation, but it is used in calculus a lot for rate of change and slope, derivatives, things like that. So they're going to give you a function. The function is f of x equals 3x plus 5. Very straightforward function. Okay. What they want to evaluate is this expression over here, f of 2 plus h minus f of 2, the entire thing over h. They are giving you the specification that h is not equal to 0. That's just because the denominator can't be equal to 0. It does not affect how you do the problem. Okay, so I want to evaluate f of 2 plus h minus f of 2. So let's start with f of 2 plus h. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2 plus h and plug it into the f function where the x is. So that's going to be 3 times 2 plus h plus 5. All I did was plug 2 plus h into the f function. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Now there's a minus sign here, so I'm going to keep a minus sign here. Okay, now it says, what should I minus? I should minus whatever f of 2 is. Now, f of 2 I can do pretty easily in my head, so if you wanted to calculate that in your head, that would be fine with me. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11. Sometimes it's more complicated, you might want to show work, but either way, let's see. I'm going to subtract 3 times 2 plus 5. Or if you just wrote 11, that's fine. But make sure you are subtracting the result. You need parentheses on that if you're writing the expression. And then in the denominator, it has an h because that's just part of the formula. Okay, from here, I am just going to simplify everything I just wrote. Okay, so let's see. In the numerator, if I simplify the blue part, I get 6 plus 3h plus 5 minus, what's 3 times 2 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, so I'm going to minus 11. And the entire thing's still over h. Okay, I'm going to keep simplifying this. See, are there like terms? I see a 3h, and then 6 plus 5 is 11, 11 minus 11 is nothing, so that's gone. So 3h over h. And then when I simplify that expression, the h's cancel and it goes all the way down to 3. Okay, so my final answer is 3, and at the end of a difference quotient, there should always be something canceling, and the h in the denominator will always cancel because you don't want to leave 0 in the denominator anyhow. We are going to go ahead and do one more example just like that last one because it is a little bit mind-boggling. Okay, so the first thing they're going to tell you, g of x equals x squared minus 2x. It's a very straightforward function, no worries. Okay, but then they want me to evaluate this rational expression. So g of 3 plus h, and then I want to subtract g of 3, and then the whole thing's over h, and it should really say h can equal to 0, but we shall assume it even if it's not written. Okay, let's start with the first part. The first part is I want to do g of 3 plus h. So I'm going to take 3 plus h and substitute it in for x in both spots because it is in 2 spots. So x squared minus 2x, and I am using parentheses. Okay, then the formula has a minus in it. Okay, and then it says subtract g of 3. Okay, I'm going to put g of 3 in parentheses because I'm subtracting the entire quantity of g of 3. Okay, and then as it's written, it wants me to evaluate it, the entire thing over h. Okay, now that I did the first step, which is actually the hardest, I'm going to simplify the expression with the expectation that when I finish, something should cancel. Okay, I'm going to multiply 3 plus h times 3 plus h. Remember, 3 plus h squared is really 3 plus h times 3 plus h. And then you have to distribute everything out, okay? So you should not get some nice, easy answer. Okay, so 3 plus h times 3 plus h, which I can do in my head, is going to be 9 plus 3h is 6h plus h squared. Distribute the negative 2 minus 6 minus 2h. Okay, now the minus sign is going to come down. If you want to evaluate that in your head, you could. I'll do it in 2 steps. 3 squared is 9 minus 6, but I am going to keep the parentheses on it because I do need to subtract the result of that. Okay, let's see if I can see things to cancel. Okay, what do we have? We have a 9 minus 9, that'll go. Let's see, I see a 6h and a minus 2h, so that's going to be 4h plus h squared And then I have a minus 6 minus negative 6. So that's going to cancel to nothing because negative 6 plus 6. And then the entire equation is over h. Okay, this looks pretty good. I got rid of a lot of like terms, but I know that if I did it properly at the very end, the h is going to cancel. So it looks like you can cancel an h out of here. If you want to cancel them out of both terms right now, that's fine. I'm going to factor it because it's the real way you should do it. So in the numerator, the common factor is h. If I take out a h, I get 4 plus h, and then the entire expression is over h. Okay, now the h's cancel, and then my final answer is going to be 4 plus h.